Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaRakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone to rule well. Shalom to the brothers doing righteous and truth. Yeah, so, it's official. It's recession time in the UK. It's obviously a recession in the US. But, these men are having a fucking laugh because they've more or less redefined what a recession is. To kind of just be like, nah, that's not really what's going down. But it's everyone else knows this shit's already been the writing's been on the wall. The writing's been on the wall for a while, so it's it's plain as day. But that's something that's gonna become undeniable. Well, it's been undeniable because it's the thing that the US has kind of been what's the word? They've been not denying. What's the term I'd use, man? The kind of angle they've been pushing it is unemployment. Unemployment in the US. They said like, unemployment's been behaving like this, so is it really a recession? So that nigga shit. Come the fuck on, man. The shit's done. It's a wrap. Especially with like what gig economy and whatnot. It's just not the same. It's BS. But that's gonna become evident and clear. So this is on The Guardian. It says, Bank of England hikes rates as it predicts 13% inflation and long recession. The way they start this article is hilarious. Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine has left Britain on course for a recession lasting more than a year and inflation above 13%. I'm like, bro, that might be the straw that broke the camel's back. But it's been a combination of like Brexit, energy crisis, food crisis that started, that Ukraine and Russia conflict's been a big impact on, but there's been a whole host of other factors that have gone into that as well beforehand. So it's really not just a thing of just a thing where it's just like, yeah, his invasion of Ukraine done the economy. I'm like, bro, y'all have been like talking about the economic woes from thingy, what the hell is it called? From Brexit. But now all of a sudden that's just thrown in the bin and it's just like, it's Putin. It's all Putin's fault. That fucking bloody Putin. So that says, as it raised interest rates for 6 successive time, Threadneedle Street said it had no choice but to increase borrowing costs by 0.5% points to 1.75%, blaming Russia for cost of living pressures not seen in more than 4 decades and a 5% drop in living standards, straddling this year and next, the biggest since records began in the 60s. Andrew Bailey, the bank's governor, said there is an economic cost to the war. As he predicted, the economy was on course for a period of stagflation, a recession combined with soaring cost of living. Yeah, it's not even just it's stagflation. While accepting the biggest increase in interest rates in 27 years would cause pain, particularly to the least well-off, Bailey said the bank needed to take action to prevent spiraling price rises from becoming ingrained. Inflation will rise to 13% by the end of this year, according to the latest bank forecast, which is fucking nuts. Like, the shit didn't even go that, it hasn't even gone this high in a fucking recession. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's where it's like the economic system is fucking bursting at the seams, man. If we don't act now to prevent inflation becoming persistent, the consequences later will be worse and require larger increases in interest rates. Returning inflation to its 2% target remains our absolute priorities. No ifs, no buts, hinting that further interest rate increases were likely. The bank's 9-strong monetary policy committee said it would be particularly alert to indications of more persistent price pressures and will, if necessary, act forcefully in response. Now, since they're blaming Russia, they're blaming Mother Russia for the cost of living crisis. Then you've had the war drums beating, you've had the quake, the shivering, of in the South China Sea, between China and fuck are they called? Taiwan. So given that, that could very, very easily become another another blow to the global economy that just sends everything spiraling. So this is what the MPC expects: an increase in the energy price gap to about 3,500 in October, to result in inflation rising to 13.3, its highest since 1980, and to trigger a 5-quarter recession that will last from the final 3 months of this year until the end of 2023. So a year and a half of legendary hell. With the average mortgage payment expected to rise by about £50 a month as a result of high interest rates, and the average household fuel bill reaching £300 a month. That's fucking wild. The next Prime Minister, and this is summertime, no one's got the heaters on. Like, people might not even be using as much hot water because because the weather's been alright. They might be taking them cooler showers. When it comes to, that bone cold, that white dust, ice forming around your eyelids, winter, it's gonna be legendary. Yeah, man actually had, and it's funny as well because it's like the non-existent interest rates is what's been keeping the economy alive. That is hilarious. Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call lands after their own names. Yeah, these guys are trying to make this thing last forever. They're thinking they've been established. All these things are like grime paints for their new order of the ages, man. They're looking to bring in that new world order where they'll be able to restructure just like after World War II. And this one's gonna be like what? Based off technology. We're utilizing technology that they've been able to push. They're gonna have ultimate and total control over all facets, man. Be moving like it's Black Mirror or them things there. And that, by necessity means that they're just going to continue to have the rule. Everything's going to run how they desire. But, these things aren't going to run how they're going to run, man. They're going to, of course, they're going to be able to put in the chip, the mark. They're going to be able to bring these things in, the Karagma. But it's going to go as far as Yahweh Shem Yahushua has sanctioned it to go. And that's why it's not forever, man. Jeremiah 51:7, it says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Jehovah's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunken of a wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yeah, the ones all caught up on the juice of the American system, especially the monetary system. That's something that they fervently desire, they love and want and cherish. And they're like, yo, this gotta continue. But then what? You guys are all gone out of their minds. They're all caught up within. They're within that system, desiring it to continue, doing the utmost to make it keep running. But it says, what Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Yeah. And out here crying, hollering, trying to do the utmost, man. Bringing in every policy. Trying to, reconfigure the way people's brains work. So them like, nah, we can keep this running. I'm like, bro. It's just like with all the former kingdoms. There was that set period of time, man. They had their rise, the golden age. Then the decline and the fall. It's been clear that, the American empire is in its decline. And everyone else is kind of, just latched onto it, hanging onto the husk, giving him fucking shots of adrenaline, try and keep him going. But let's see. How for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. Forsake her, and let's go everyone into his own country. Yeah, we would have healed Babylon. And the dream of keeping this place going, keeping the dream alive. But what? She's not healed. She's not healed, man. They would have if it was possible, but Yahweh Hashem Yahushua's word's gone out. The word's gone out. It's basically said what? it's done. But as soon as it's time's up, it's done. It's a wrap. Yahushua is sitting on the right hand, waiting to come down with the hosts of heaven to bring about the word of what? The end of Esau's rule, and then what? New Jerusalem. Let us go everyone to his own country, for a judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Yeah, the missiles, man. That judgment that's been set. Says what? Isaiah 14 and verse 10, it says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Yeah. That's that bright morning star. America's been cut down, man. And that's it says, what art thou become weak as we? All that shine, all that luster, that position, that opulence, that desirable station that Esau and America shared for the longest. Now what? Lucifer, son of the morning, I'm gonna take you out of earth. And then what? Yahushua is gonna be that true bright morning star. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Shalom.